as you see the 19. Oh, what a save! Oh, no!
All right, they're going to hold us for 5 laps for reckless driving. Oh, they can go themselves. NASCAR. That is bull. I'm sideways. I go to correct it back to the left. It gets locked to the left, and I run into the 19.
Well, I don't think that's going to help at all.
No.
The Cup race is about to get started. Yeah, the Brickyard 400. And we got to talk about yesterday. Austin Hill is a problem. Like, that was a crazy move that he pulled on Aric Almirola yesterday. That was insane. That was actually, like, very uncalled for in every sense of the name. Like, that was a very uncalled thing for him to do. All right, so basically, Austin Hill gets, he gets a little squirrely because Aric Almirola kind of bumped him up the track a bit. You know what I'm saying? It's not the cleanest, but I could understand any driver being frustrated by that. But what happens after is very uncalled for and very unnecessary. So Austin Hill then slides up the track. Aric Almirola proceeds to he's about to make the pass, hit the spot. And Austin Hill, bro, has a crazy save. I'm talking about he was sideways. He was completely sideways, bro. He was really sideways. And he saves it. He saves it. I'm like, damn, that was a great save. But what happens after that really kind of showcases, okay, and all the credit we gave him beforehand, we can't give him no more, because he then proceeds to turn right into Aric Almirola. And Aric Almirola then proceeds to slam the outside wall with no safer barrier in one of the most dangerous parts of the track. Let me tell y'all something, bro. After I saw that, I was so frustrated. I was really angry at seeing that because, love or hate any driver, I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, I get it. Some people aren't really fans of Aric Almirola down in the Xfinity Series. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Aric Almirola has his fair share of run-ins in the Xfinity Series. You know what I'm saying? For example, with Alex Bowman earlier this year. Some people don't really like the stuff that he does like that. You know what I'm saying? Which, you can have that opinion, right? Of course, you can have that viewpoint, and I understand, because what he did to Alex Bowman was not the cleanest. But does he deserve that to happen to him? Absolutely not. That doesn't deserve to happen to no driver. Right? Hooked into the wall with no safer barrier? That's not good. That's dangerous. I would never wish that on any driver, regardless of how I feel about them on track. I don't want to see them get hurt. I don't want to see them, get paralyzed. Nothing. I don't want them to get killed. I don't want none of that. And when we have situations like that could be avoided, by the way, right? I think at that point we need to really kind of sit back and be like, okay, something needs to be done. Something absolutely needs to be done. You cannot tell me that was acceptable. You cannot tell me that was acceptable at all. And Austin Hill, he tried to be like, I was out of control. I didn't mean to hook him. I was just out of control. Da, 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 da. Bro, you meant to wreck him. We see the white gloves inside the windshield. You turned dead into the 19. I was about to say 20, but he's not driving the 20 this year. You turned dead into the 19. So there's no excuse for that. There's literally no excuse. And he's on the radio talking bad about NASCAR after NASCAR gave him a penalty of they're going to hold him for like 5 laps, right? In my opinion, they should have just took him out the race. They should have parked him, because that was nasty. That was extremely nasty of him to do. Extremely nasty. He was very angry over the radio at NASCAR, and I don't see why. Like, bro is not helping his case at all. We don't need any SMT data to look at that and be like, maybe he didn't wreck him on purpose. Maybe he was out of control. We don't need no SMT data. We see what you did, and you trying to gaslight NASCAR, apparently, into feeling like that they were wrong in the situation. Ooh, it reminds me of Kyle Busch back in 2010 at Texas when he was flipping off the NASCAR officials after he was in the wrong. He was saying NASCAR can go fuck themselves. He was saying this, that, and the third. Austin Hill was not apologizing for anything. He didn't admit to anything, of course. So it is what it is. So, and Austin Hill got parked for 5 laps. He should have got parked out of the entire race. That should have happened. And I think, in the process of all this, he damaged the 00. And you know what's so crazy? He had that car saved. He had the car saved. He wasn't gonna wreck. I could definitely see him being frustrated, but he wasn't gonna wreck. Like, there was barely any damage to the car other than the damage he had on the front bumper, and it had the frowny face tape on it, which I thought was ironic considering how frustrated he was. Richard Childress, right, was then asked about Austin Hill, right? He was saying like, he was basically asked if Austin Hill should get suspended for next week.
I'll be in bigger trouble than I already am with NASCAR, period.
Do you think Dillon should be suspended?
Do what?
Do you think Austin should be suspended?
Hell no. They didn't do a damn thing to the 2 car. When he wrecked Ty and admitted to it, drove him in the right rear and wrecked him at Coda. It's who you are. We're a blue-collar team. They give us trouble all the time.
Richard Childress, bro, man, I don't know. Like, when he said that Austin Hill shouldn't get suspended and brought up other situations, like how Austin Cindric right rear Ty, Dillon, Austin Cindric, all these Austins. You know what I'm saying? I think that he kind of brought up that Austin Cindric didn't get suspended for wrecking Ty at Coda, right hooking. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that's fair but not fair at the same time, because Austin Cindric should have definitely gotten suspended for that. I'm gonna keep it a bug. No matter how the speeds are, no matter what it is, Austin Cindric should have definitely got suspended for that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Austin Hill definitely should get suspended. What Austin Hill did was most definitely worse than Austin Cindric, mainly because of the high speeds that they were at. And man, the impact that Eric Almirola had was awful. And I mean, just awful, dreadful. That was a terrible impact that he had. He said it was the worst one since that 2017 wreck at Kansas that hurt his back. And Eric Almirola also had to sit out some races for that. Come on now, Austin. Come on, Austin Hill. You know what I'm saying? So Richard Childress defending his driver, bro, when he's blatantly in the wrong, bro, sit this one out. Sit this one out. Like, I don't get why Richard Childress, right? Richard Childress just defends, I don't know how he just defends that. I don't know how he would defend that. I don't know how. Like, I remember he defended Austin Dillon last year when Austin Dillon then wrecked Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano to win Richmond. When Austin Dillon was most definitely in the wrong, and Richard Childress just defended that. I get you want to stick behind your drivers, but when they're wrong, they're wrong. When Sammy Smith took out Taylor Gray at Martinsville earlier this year, right? Dale Jr. didn't defend Sammy at all. He didn't defend Sammy Smith at all, bro. What are we doing? Come on, Richard Childress, bro. He be having some problems. Like, he also tends to have some issues at times, sometimes where I disagree with him on. Most definitely. And apparently, Denny Hamlin, I remember he said that Richard Childress kind of sideswiped a Joe Gibbs Racing car on the highway or something like that. Like, somebody that works for Joe, I don't know. But apparently, Richard Childress Racing took some on-track problems and took it to the highway, where it has nothing to do with NASCAR. It's strictly just the highway. Like, Richard Childress, bro, that team is just unhinged. Like, I can't believe Richard Childress would defend that. And he also brought up blue-collar workers, that NASCAR disrespects blue-collar workers. They don't care about them. And, bro, I don't want to think that's true. I'm going to keep it a bug. But, I mean, is Richard Childress even a blue-collar worker? Bro owns a whole winery business. I don't know. But yeah, Richard Childress, bro, I love Richard Childress. He's funny sometimes and arguably a cool guy, but I disagree with certain things that he's done. And defending this is nothing. There's nothing to defend about this. Nothing at all. Man, all these Austins getting into problems. Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric, Austin Hill. And Austin Hill, I remember when he spun Cole Custer under caution at Charlotte, like either last year or a few years ago. Man, like, what? Austin Hill should definitely get parked. And I know he'll probably lose some playoff points. He deserves to lose them. Duh. He deserves to lose them. He deserves all the all the criticism his way. He deserves all the penalties, and I know he's better than this, right? Because I remember hearing that Austin Hill, when Martinsville was all crazy and stuff like that, Austin Hill was the main guy to be like, we need to do better. We need to do better. Like, we need to do better. I promise I'll be a great driver. I'll be a role model to everybody who is younger than me and this, that, and the third. And that's amazing to see. That's amazing to see a driver who is a veteran in the Xfinity Series. He's been down there since 2022, right? A veteran down there in the business. And he takes charge, be like, you know what? I'll be a role model for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Da 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 da. But he pulls this. I get it. We all make mistakes, but that was more than a mistake right there. That's dangerous. That's uncalled for. So who should drive next week? That 21. Who should drive that next week? I would love to see Casey Kane drive that 21 next week. He deserves another shot after what happened in Rockingham. Maybe put Kyle Busch down there. Nah, I don't want to see that. He has 102 wins on there. I don't want to see that no more. I'm sorry, y'all. Austin Dillon, I don't mind if he goes down there. Like, Austin Dillon has not done a lot in Cup, so I don't mind him going down there. You know what I'm saying? Ty Dillon. Like, I'm just spitballing names. I would like to see down there. I'm gonna be honest with you. Who's a driver that's just like we haven't seen in a while, right? We haven't seen Brian Vickerson in a while. Go ahead, as long as he doesn't pull no BS like Martinsville 2011. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope y'all really liked it. And do y'all agree with what I'm saying? And I love everybody involved. You know, I love Austin Hill. I love Richard Childress. You know what I'm saying? They've had some great speed down there in the Xfinity Series, and I just hate to see that this happen. So